Hey guys, I heard the wife just got home and we wanted to show off one of the clutches. It's one of her favorite clutches. A couple snakes in there that she really likes. So let's go find her. There she is. It's the Jennifer Aniston, aka my wife, Lisa.
Just for the record, I don't think there's a resemblance, but I'll take the compliment.
All right, well, we're gonna get upstairs and get set up and we're gonna show you guys some snakes. See you in a bit. All right, guys, so we kind of got everything set up. We're gonna run through this clutch with you real quick and just take a look at this clutch. It's a phenomenal clutch as far as the odds that I think I hit or that we hit, but I guess a little bit more time is gonna tell, maybe another shed, and to really know what I have, because there's a few of them that look very similar. And I'm just going to need some time with them to kind of figure them out. So there's definitely multiple genes here at play. So anyway, well, we're going to get started. I'm going to kind of work kind of from the bottom up. If there's a bottom, there's not, for me, there's not really a bottom in this clutch. But we're going to go through and we're going to show you some snakes. And then we're going to want your feedback at the bottom and see what you think. And feel free to comment on any of these animals and what you may think that's at play. So what I will tell you is the mother was an enchi yellow belly 100% het for ghost, and the father was a pastel cinnamon 100% het for ghost. I picked these guys, these adults up they're adults now, but a couple of years ago at Tinley. From Rick Schlosser and Josh Beatty, and we got, they paired this year, and we now have these babies that you're going to see. So without further ado, here we go. Yep, there we go. So this is a pewter, or at least a pewter. It, to me, looks pretty blush, washed out. It may possibly be ghost as well. This is the first time I've ever worked with ghost, and I don't own any visual ghost. I've seen lots of pictures online, and some of the pictures that I have seen online, it's like night and day. It's clear as a bell. So unless most of these guys are ghosts, which those odds would be ridiculous, I'm gonna guess that I don't know, looking at them in person as babies, I just need a little more help, a little more work. But this is a pewter possible ghost. Now the next one is the one that has, like, well, they all have crazy color and it's different, but this next one that we have here is a enchi. Well, she's a pastel enchi, possible yellow belly, and I'll explain why I think possible with the yellow belly.
She's nice and bright.
Yeah, she's very bright. One shed, she's like a little glowworm. She glows like crazy. You see the blushing on the head, so that's the pastel. A little bit, in some spots down the dorsal, there's some more blushing. Now the flames, like you see here, this is very typical of yellow belly. So you get these colored, a little bit different color than the yellow, so like kind of like an orangish flame coming up the side. So she has really nice flames. She has it multiple, all over the place essentially. But when I do look at her belly isn't necessarily what I've always seen in some of the other yellow bellies that I've hatched. Although when pastel's in the mix, it can really wash out a lot of that as well. So I still think there's yellow belly here. So she would be a pastel enchi yellow belly. very, very bright, very pretty girl. Those first two will more than likely be available. Yeah, we can do that one. So this is starting to get into the first of 4 of these animals that to some degree have me puzzled. I know there's cinnamon in here. I clearly see cinnamon, and what I believe also is yellow belly. All this like you go into, you lose the pattern, you go into like a ghosting, and then you pick up pattern again. That's pretty typical of yellow belly when you have multiple genes at play. So yeah, very peachy, salmon-like colors, and this one's patterns tend to be very aberrant, which I'm lending to enchi. So I think this one is a pastel enchi, cinnamon and yellow belly, with just the blushing there. So I think this is possibly a 4-bang animal, and you know, it looks fantastic as far as that goes. This particular one is a male. More than likely this guy will be available once they've put down some meals. A couple of them ate today, but you know, we're gonna get, you know, solid meals into these guys, and then some of them will be available. So if you have questions in regard to availability with any of these, just, you know, drop us a note down below and let us know. There's that. There's peach. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. So then this one, I almost think is very similar, if not the same, as far as what I hit. However, this pattern is not as aberrant as the last one. And by that I mean, I don't think there's necessarily enchi in this. I think this is a pastel cinnamon yellow belly. So we get the same salmon, not as quite intense on the salmon colors here, but you can still see some of that ghosting. I don't know if they can see this side, but there you go. You see some of that ghosting on the belly, and in here, which I think is some of that yellow belly doing that. So again, I think this is a cinnamon yellow belly pastel. Again, I'm taking guesses at these right now. I mean, certain things are clear. I mean, I know when enchi and cinnamon work together, it's really hard to tell that enchi is in there sometimes, because cinnamon really messes with the, you know, with the enchi. But you know, great blushing down the dorsal stripe, which again, I'm thinking as part of the pastel. It could be ghost, although the color saturation on this one compared to the next couple that I'm going to show you is pretty, you know, pretty good saturation, and the other two is considerably less. So we'll look at the this next one here. This one is a boy, and we believe this one is, I believe this one is a ghost. So again, this for me, I'm gonna say is enchi, ghost, cinnamon, and you know, again, when I look at these bellies, you get that head out of the way. This one is there's not as much, but there's a little bit there. I don't know, possibly yellow belly on this one. I'm not 100% sure. It's, you know, these guys are uniquely different. So there's slight differences in these, but there's so much that looks the same. It's tough, and that's probably where I'm going to need a couple more sheds and some more stuff. But where you don't have as much of that barring, that crazy,
Artist.
yeah, they're taking off on you. Not as much of the barring in here like you would see with the enchi. So if I brought this one back, this was the first one we looked at. You see a little bit more of these barring in the saddles, trying to make connection. And when you look at the head, slightly pinches up a little bit. I don't know. It's tough because that pattern, you can definitely see it trying to do that enchi thing, and you lose, like when enchi's involved with cinnamon, you lose some of that pinch almost completely. Where enchi and super enchis, you can really see that head pinch marking. But again, you look at those two, colors are very similar. Way more blushing on here, so again, I think that's Ghost. So this would be Cinnamon Yellow Belly Ghost. I don't think this one's Ghost, but I think this has enchi. I don't know. Time will tell. And then the last one
It's my favorite.
is your favorite. Why is it your favorite?
Well, bright peachiness.
Yeah.
Like that, the bright color too.
So this girl here, this is a female. She will be staying with us. Because all in all, with this one, I think we hit all of them. This one, to me, the amount of just blushing is crazy. So pastel, and then it's even amped out way more than everything else. So Ghost as well. A lot of that checkering down the sides there for the yellow belly. Their enchi is trying to make these connections in these bars. And when you look at this one's head, you can see a little bit of a pinch that is trying to work its way through, and definitely some of that peach orange color from the cinnamon, doing there. So I think this would be the five bang girl. I think this one would be the fiver, and then possible threes and a couple twos. So again, it's a great clutch. I only got bit.
Maybe not. That's not funny. I know they'd probably get a kick out of it, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, most of it's just the fear reaction. It doesn't really hurt. Most of the time they just hit you with the nose, so they don't even bite.
Okay.
You'll pass.
I'll
Pass. Okay. So this is also my favorite of the clutch, obviously because I think she has the most genes, but I just love the way it goes light and dark, and the way you get some of these almost shadow effects of some of the black. It just really makes the dorsal stripe jump, and then the peach and orange and everything else is just really nice. Oh, where are you going? Come on back here. So that's our clutch. We had 6 snakes in this clutch. This girl was her first clutch for this girl. She's done absolutely fantastic. Great eggs, no slugs, any of that stuff. She's a little on the small side. She probably like 1,800 grams off season, and we're she's just picking up appetite again. I mean, she'd eat a little bit, and she's off a little bit. The typical ball python stuff. But I'd love to get some weight on her and really get some more babies out of her, because these things are just absolutely insane. So yeah, we're gonna bring them all back out here and see if we can get them all in the shot for you. So take one last look at everybody here. Right up front. Got a couple more. There you go. That's that clutch. again, you know, these guys, you can see all 4 of them together. They're very different from each other, but a lot of that color variant that you look for to help you identify, they're also very similar. Yeah, they're all going to want to take off. So there you have it. That's our ghost clutch for this year. We have, I think we said this before, we have 1 more clutch of eggs in the incubator. So middle of November, like the 15th, 16th of November, those will be due to hatch or to be cut, whichever comes first, day 55 or what you have there. Stay tuned. We're gonna have other stuff in the meantime too. We got some other follow-up videos that we're gonna do of animals that are now all hatched out and are, you know, they're all due to due for us to do a follow-up on, let you see them, so everybody's shed and ready to go. Thanks for watching. If you like what you're watching, subscribe, like this video, hit that little bell so you get notified when we're back again. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.
Have a good one.